Just giving an update on myself. Last week I understand that my video was interviews mostly of my friends giving their opinions, their thoughts and opinions on obesity and the state of our community. So I want to give an update on myself because this week's video will continue in that same lines. It's going to be just another friend sharing her thoughts and opinions on health and wellness and recognizing the stress and the need for education on health in our community. So the update on myself is I am still sticking to my calorie count, still doing the things that I need to do to be successful in my journey, health, wealth, wellness, all of that. Right now I'm on vacation, and even on this vacation I've still been exercising, doing the things that I need to do. And actually I said still been exercising. I don't usually exercise, but I knew that I would be, eating a little bit more or, wanting to enjoy things more, but just also learning how to fill my leisure time. I want to just always be at my best state. So exercise is a part of that. So I've been exercising while on my vacation. So I'm sticking to my calorie count for the most part. Like some days I do go over, or just eating one meal a day. And I know that, because I've been on my calorie restriction that, I can't eat as many calories anyway. So sticking to, that calorie count has been, pretty good. It's pretty, I would say, a good effort for someone on vacation. All right. But like I said, this video this week will be one again of my friend giving her thoughts and opinions on the state of our community. It's things that we need to be educated on, recognizing signs of distress or the pitfalls of not recognizing signs of distress in someone that is suffering from basically weight-related, health-related issues and concerns. So enjoy. So Miranda, was there ever a time when you done intermittent fasting, or is it something that's like a regular part of your life right now?
Well, actually, Lisa, when you introduced me to Dr. Sebi Lifestyle, I actually followed that. And when I read up and researched Dr. Sebi Lifestyle, I've actually had went down to like 155 to 155. So I was at one point 200, and I'm back to 200 pounds. Wow. But when I was doing Dr. Sebi Lifestyle, I had got down to 150, 155. And I was doing the intermittent fasting. And so to me, I wasn't craving food. I felt like disciplined. I felt great. But then in one of your videos, like you said, when we eat because we go out. So I was going out, socializing, lunchtime, dinners, different stuff, so I do go out to eat. I sit there drinking, eating. So I kind of like fell off the bandwagon with the intermittent fasting. But I think intermittent fasting was a great lifestyle for me with the Dr. Sebi lifestyle as well. So I think that was great for me. I lost weight and I felt great.
Do you feel like it's something that you'll go back to, like whole, like totally, or like maybe in part go back to that? Or?
Well, my goal is to go back to the Dr. Sebi lifestyle as well as the intermittent fasting. Because like I stated, I did feel great. And like right now, I do feel miserable. I get up, I feel sluggish. And when I did Dr. Sebi lifestyle and the intermittent fasting, when I put my head in to go to sleep, I was actually asleep for the rest of the night. You couldn't even tap me and I would wake up. I'm just like out because it's like I was well rested. I had more energy. I was able to walk more, go downstairs, up and down without breathing hard. I just felt great. So I definitely will go back to it, and I plan to go back to it.
All right. So you being a parent, do you feel like some of your habits, the good ones or the bad ones, do you feel like your children have adopted some of those things, or do they just eat like totally different from you? Because I know that's not a foreign concept these days.
Well, one thing about me, I always say I would never force my kids to do certain things that they don't want to do. However, in my household, I haven't ate meat. Well, I didn't eat pork and all that beef in the beginning. So my household, they didn't really eat meat, but now they were still eating beef. But now at this point right now, they don't eat no pork or beef in my house. And my daughter, the reason why she stopped eating beef because we went to Lancaster, and she was with the cows, and she said she seen sadness in the cows. They was looking at her, and she was like, she felt their energy, like they were trying to tell her something, and she felt as though if this cow is this sad and miserable, and we're eating this right here, and if she's consuming this is why people, including herself, be miserable and mad for no reason. So she was determined that she was going to stop eating beef because she didn't want to feel that sadness that cow felt. And like right this day, she still talks about the sadness that the cow, because it was like the cow literally was looking at her and the eyes just drooped down, and so she was like, glossy eyes, was determined no more beef. So she went cold turkey and just like haven't looked back.
Wow, that's really interesting. Sometimes, you know, how we have those moments in life where it's just like a sort of a life-changing moment. It doesn't have to be anything grand or big or spectacular, but still just impacts your life to where, you know, it's changed.
And I was shocked that she felt that way, because I'm like, Cece, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. She said, I don't want to have that negative energy and have that sadness over me. She's like, that's why people just the whole world has just like been a certain way, because the cows was like literally like chained up. It was like a barn, and each cow was like chained up, you know, couldn't, you know, get the milk or whatever. But she felt as though they wanted to be free, and she was like, she just felt as though they was being somewhere they didn't want to be, and she seen it, and she was like, she felt that energy from them. So she was just no.
And it's good. I think that correlates with that, you know, that saying, that old saying, you are what you eat.
Yes.
So you eat sickness, sadness, depression.
And you don't think about that stuff, but you're absolutely right. You don't, you know, you are what you consume.
Wow.
If you eat junk, you junk. So I ate sugar and pasta, and I became, you know, but hopefully the intermittent fasting and back to Dr. Sebi lifestyle, I would definitely change and go back to a more healthier me.
So, Marita, just to, you know, continue our conversation from earlier, when you know, we were talking about some of the issues related to obesity. What's some other things that you are noticing?
Well, and when we had our last reunion, I noticed that several people had came to me, and I thought they was just thirsty and wanted some water, but I did not realize that their sugar had dropped down so low that they needed something. So I was just giving them water, and they was like, no. And then when I seen tears in grown men eyes saying that they didn't know what they was going to do because their sugar had dropped down so low, and I was just like, huh? So I was told by another committee member that the person's sugar was low, to give them a Mountain Dew to raise it back up. But I wasn't able to identify individuals who was in stress due to their sugar being low. So I think within the last couple of years, I noticed people more stress, discomfort due to their sugar being low. So with that, I think that we as a community, we should be more educated and informed on what we should do, or try to help individuals who may need assistance in trying to control and not get into that position that they have to come to someone. Especially in me seeing a grown man with tears in his eyes, it was like heartbreaking, because you don't see men cry, but when a man comes say, thank you so much, I thought this was my last. So I think we as a community need to do better with eating and just being more educated, just be mindful of what we eat, or learning to control what we eat, just eat better and know when to eat. Because, you know, I know people who have diabetes and different stuff, and they like, oh, my sugar's going low, I need to get something to eat real quick. So I think we need to know when to eat, what to eat, and just be mindful, just be more educated on stuff like that, because we don't know.
Mm-hmm. So you feeling like the need needs to be more on the education of how to identify distress in someone, or more emphasis on the education of proper foods to eat to take care of your health?
I think both. I think we need to be more educated on how to identify, because like I stated, I didn't know that several individuals was in distress due to the fact of their readings, but they was able to identify. And I also think we should be educated on what to eat, how to eat, because if we learn how to eat right and when to eat, how to eat, we won't be in a position that we'll be in distress, especially like I say, a grown man. And to me, I look at men as being like the lead, the head of the household, because they're the man. And we, as a man, so when I see a man in distress, it like hurts me because I'm thinking this man can no longer be the head or the lead because he's in distress. And like myself, I didn't know how to identify, and it wasn't for another committee member who told me what was going on. I would just gave him the bottle of water, and then he could have been on the ground, passed out, and I would have felt like really, really bad. But because she knew how to identify, which she was educated, and so she told me, so she educated me. So if she didn't educate me, I wouldn't know. And then at my job, another man came to me and he told me he couldn't even fill the forms out because he couldn't see. And I was like, excuse you? I'm like, I didn't understand. But he informed me that his sugar was low and he needed something to drink or eat. So I went and got him a soda because I remember what the committee member had said about the Mountain Dew. So I went and got him a soda and he sat down, but he told me he couldn't see. And I didn't know that was a side effect of, your vision is going to blur or can't see stuff because it's either low or high. So I think, like I said, we need to be more educated on what foods to eat, how to eat, just this health period. And I think that we grew up during a time of we ate fried chicken, green potato salad, roast beef on Saturday. We had big dinners on Saturdays and Sundays, and then leftovers throughout the week, and then another big meal. But we was taught to eat this. But so we still have that same lifestyle, but now with food is different now than then. So we have to make modifications to make our food more healthier for us versus how it was then.
Okay. Could you share with us, like you said, you were telling me earlier about how when your family went to McDonald's, there were still some routines and procedures that you all followed.
Well, my mom, growing up, she was like, single mom and everything. So she had to like cut corners and make sure we had enough to eat. So when we went to McDonald's, it definitely was a treat. But we got home, believe it or not, she would take our food and we would put it on the plate, and she would still add us some broccoli and a veggie because she felt as though you're supposed to have all the food groups because you'd have the hamburger, which was the meat, the french fries was the starch, and the veggie was broccoli. So we ate like a certain way. We couldn't just sit there and think we eat McDonald's. That's it. You had to have a certain food on your plate. And she took the McDonald's, literally unwrapped it, and put it on the plate. So we had our food, our pyramid. Okay. So people like, who does that? I'm like, my mom. So I think that me being raised, like my mom didn't really cook like certain foods that like, we didn't have canned goods coming up. Like she was more so into frozen. So so we didn't have a bunch of sodium in our daily intake. So we didn't have that. We had more frozen foods and stuff of that nature because she was like, sodium is not good. And I don't know, because she worked in the cafeteria as a manager, so she knew that pyramid and just you're supposed to have your daily nutritions and and then, but however, we did get our dessert. So like I said, once again, that brings my lifestyle back to loving sweets and eating all my food, because we had to eat all our food before we get our dessert, and my dessert was my treat.
All right, well, once again, thank you for sharing with us. Your insights are truly enlightening, like food for thought.
Thank you for everything. And I want to say this to you, Lisa. Thank you for always being an inspiration to all of us and to the Bailey's Crossroad community. You have been a mentor to me about the Dr. Sebi lifestyle, the intermittent fasting, spiritual advice. You always that person who's like rational about everything, and you just look at things in a different aspect from how everybody else look at it. So I want to say thank you for everything you have done. Financial advice, spiritual, just everything you have done. I just want to say thank you, and it's really appreciated. And I have consumed it, and I thank you once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
You are welcome.